Hi, I'm Ivan. Welcome back to one of my FischerTechnik videos. In today's video, we're going to do the second FischerTechnik challenge, which is Silly Suzy Sign. So here we have a spinning sign for Silly Suzy's sandwich shop that will, as it spins, just spin normally. You don't need to use a hand crank to spin it. You just let the motor run by itself and it will spin. But if you need to turn it off, you can press this emergency switch right here. And so there are a few core components of this challenge. You first need to, as a mechanical engineer, create a mechanism that allows the sign to spin slow enough that people can read it. Because even at the slowest setting, this motor will spin a paper that's just attached to the rod very fast. It's not going to be able to, your people are not going to be able to read this sign. So you might need to do a gear reduction so that the speed of this driven shaft is reduced. In other words, you might need to figure out some gear ratios just so you can decrease the speed that you output so that the sign can be read. So next up, as a computer engineer, or a programmer, we'll say, you also have to get started with using loops. So in the last challenge, it was a very simple linear sequence-based program. This one, you have to keep looping and waiting for an input until once you get that input, the program ends. And you don't need to just use a branch like this. You can also use the wait for input block. But of course, it's up to you to experiment with how you exactly want to achieve this loop and subsequent breaking out of the loop. And so lastly, as an electrical engineer, you want to figure out how to wire a motor and a switch. So figuring out how to wire the switch is also going to be very important because the way that you wire the switch can affect its action, how it triggers the action. And so right now this is how it's hooked up. You can see that if I hook it up to, if I hook up this red end to the other side, it'll have a different behavior. So now what we want to do is just demonstrate what this looks like. So you can see that the sign spins slow enough that we can read it, thanks to this gear reduction. And you can see that the program doesn't end up until I press this button. And so let me just demonstrate that one more time. And so there we go. This is a very simple challenge. All you have to do is build the mechanism, make it so that the sign can be attached, preferably without glue, but preferably without tape. Don't use glue. If you use glue, you're not getting points. Preferably using the FischerTechnik parts only, but if you need to, you can use tape. Make sure that you don't attach directly to the motor. And there we go. So good luck with your challenge, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.